Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and welcome to the Blueprint Strategic Update presented by the Honorable Mayor Randall L. Woodfin and the City of Birmingham. I'm Rick Journey. I serve as Director of Communications in the Office of Public Information at the city. So we just want to thank you once again for joining us and for being a partner in serving our great city and the people who live here. Please note, if you parked in the Boutwell Auditorium parking deck, it will be free to exit tonight. Also be sure to see the greeters as you leave to receive a complimentary copy of the Blueprint publication. I think I saw most of you coming in with that, but I want to remind you of that. You can also read it online at birminghamal.gov/strategy. You may also pick up a free set of our year-long Forging Justice poster series when you're exiting the building. I see a lot of folks with those right now. We begin our program today with a variety of things. I do want to say before I move on to that, I do want to remind you also, you may have noticed the mayor walking around with a drink. We wanted to maintain and keep this date because it is, we wanted to have this time with everybody before the holidays began, so we may focus on that. But Mayor's dealing with a few throat issues tonight, so he's got nursing it with that hot water and stuff, so just wanted to pass that along, just let you know if he's going through that. So I wanted to kind of make you aware of that. We begin our program with the heart of our mayor and this administration, our children. Third graders in the state of Alabama face the threat of repeating a school year if they do not read on grade level. From the moment Mayor Woodfin learned about this, he made it a priority to help. Our Department of Youth Services, along with Birmingham City Schools, joined to create Page Pals, a reading, mentoring, and tutoring program. Now, each week, Birmingham residents, City of Birmingham employees, retired teachers, and grandparents go to elementary schools to support our young scholars. Tonight, I am very proud to present one of our very own Page Pals, Ms. Jada Hinton. Jada is a third grader at Oliver Elementary, and her tutor is City of Birmingham employee Letha Dees, who works with her every week. She is joined tonight by Shonda Smith, her teacher, and Jada is here to show off her progress by reading a story for us. Thank you for your kind welcome, and once again, let's make Jada feel right at home.
Hi, and good evening.
Hey, Jada.
Randall's Big City Dreams. Once upon a time in the city of Birmingham, there lived a young boy named Randall. He loved his city and dreamed of making it better for everyone. Randall was curious and kind, always asking questions and listening to the stories of the people around him. From a very young age, Randall knew he wanted to help others. He learned about the history of his city, the struggles, and the dreams of its people. Randall believed that kindness and hard work could bring about big changes. As Randall grew up, he became even more determined to make a difference. He studied in school and learned about leadership, fairness, and helping those in need. He listened to the hopes and concerns of his neighbors and friends. One day, Randall decided to run for mayor of Birmingham. He wanted to make the city a place where everyone felt included and where kids could grow up happy and safe. People from all over the city supported him because they knew he cared deeply about their city community. As Mayor Randall worked hard, he listened to the voices of the people just like he did when he was a young boy. He made sure that everyone had access to good schools, safe parks to play in, and jobs for grown-ups. He also made sure that people were treated fairly and equally, no matter their background. Randall's hard work and dedication paid off. The city started to shine brighter than ever before. People were happier, the neighborhoods were thriving, and everyone felt proud to call Birmingham their home. Randall's story teaches us that even a kid with big dreams can grow up to make a big difference. He showed us that by caring for others and working hard, we can make our communities better places for everyone. And so Randall L. Woodfin became a hero in the city of Birmingham, inspiring many others to dream big and work hard to create a better world for all. Thank you.
Wow, that was great. And I got to come up and follow that. How about that? Once again, thank you, Jada. I feel a lot better, and I'm sure all of you feel a lot better about our future with brilliant leaders and readers like Jada. Great job. And now, everybody, it is my pleasure in welcoming Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin and the Blueprint.
We opened the doors of City Hall to our residents, giving them a seat at the governing table. We hit the streets of our 99 neighborhoods, seeing residents' concerns with our own eyes, and hearing their issues with our own ears. Though we have done so much for our city, we knew our residents needed more. Every great team needs a game plan, and for this team, we found our blueprint. Our diagram for a bolder, brighter Birmingham. We're mapping out a city where a grandmother can stand on her porch and see new homes develop in her historic neighborhood, where her grandson is set on course to achieve his dreams, thanks to the reading initiative like Birmingham Page Pals and the Birmingham Promise, where direct paths to college and workforce are guaranteed, where new grocery stores are a much-needed oasis in former food deserts, and A-list entertainers are now just down the road at Protectors Meeting. We're building the Birmingham that families deserve, that we all deserve. 6 years later, the promise of putting people first is stronger than ever. And it continues right here, right now. This is our blueprint for success.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It is an honor to have all of you here tonight with us. Before I get started in acknowledgments, everybody give Jada a round of applause again. Jada, this job has many demands as mayor, and I think you told a very compelling story, and I'm very, very proud of you. I want to thank your teacher, I want to thank your mom, your grandmother, and your little brother here, your parents, and all of your extended family for being here to support you and cheer you on. And so, I guess I got to come to Oliver and spend some more time with you and your classmates, but I'm very, very proud of you, y'all. So thank you, Jada, for reminding us about the importance. Jada, thank you for reminding us why we do this job, which includes our superintendent that's present, your principal that's present, as well as all other educators in this room and not in this room. With that, let me do some acknowledgments, and I need to make sure. Rick Bowser told you all about my throat issues. There's signage drainage, so I didn't want anybody to think I'm giving y'all the cooties or anything. You're good. But I want to start by acknowledging some people by name, and one is my wife, Kendra Woodfin, who was present. Let's see, I do not do this job by myself, anybody. I have another elected body, our legislative branch of government, in the form of our Birmingham City Council, that I am so honored to partner with, work with, advocate with on your behalf, and solve issues collectively on your behalf. So I start with, and you can please stand when I call you by name because you're worthy of being called by name. I'll start with the President of the Birmingham City Council, Dr. Darrell O'Quinn. But as I continue, it also includes the pro tem of the Birmingham City Council, Wardine Alexander, who could not be here. We have representing District 1, Clinton Woods, who is here. Can everybody see him? Raise your hand or wherever you are. I see, these lights are very bright. Don't turn them down, you're good. Representing City Council District 2, Hunter Williams, who I believe is here as well. Councilor Valerie Abbott represents District 3. She told me in advance she couldn't be here. She's at another important meeting, as important as this. So I do want to acknowledge her. Representing District 4, City Council is J.T. Moore. Crystal Smitherman represents District 6. Carol Clark represents District 8. And LaTanya Tate, who cannot be here as well, represents District 9. I thought it was important that I take the time to not only acknowledge them as a body, but acknowledge them individually, share their name as well as the district they represent, because we work together on your behalf. So, councilors, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you do, and I'm glad to be in the trenches with you to continue to move Birmingham forward. I also want to acknowledge our superintendent of Birmingham City Schools, Dr. Mark Sullivan, Could you please stand, sir? Along with his school board members, his principals, and his entire staff and team, thank you for the work you do on behalf of our children every single day. I also want to acknowledge all of our neighborhood officers are present. If you're a neighborhood officer, please stand or wave your hand and be acknowledged. So they get a lot of slack, and I want to thank the neighborhood presidents, vice presidents, and secretaries for what they do on behalf of their individual neighborhood every day in our 99 neighborhoods. In addition to that, I have a lot of team members here who are staff members. They are department heads and deputy department directors. I do not do this work alone. There's an entire team, 3,000 plus employees. And the people I just named in the form of staff, directors and deputy directors, and senior team members, they lead these different departments and divisions, 29 plus every day. So I want to thank them for their hard work. They work 7 days a week. Trust me, their job is not 9 to 5. They're always on like I am. They have to be responsive as I am. And so collectively, I just want to say thank you. I see you, acknowledge you, and appreciate the hard work you do on behalf of the employees we serve as well as the citizens we serve. But also I got some other partners here, which are Forging Justice partners, our ACE graduates, and a special recognition to all of our everyday citizens who are in this room and not in this room for making Birmingham the city it is. Before I go on, it turns out that they're not giving me a lot of time to be up here with you tonight, so we will not get a chance to take a deep dive into every single issue, concern, or thing you care about. However, this document is very, very rich. And so what we are not able to cover verbally in this presentation tonight, I really hope you take this home, find some time to read it, dig deep into it, because I think you will find that it is very informative and provides a lot of information in detail of what we've done, what we're doing, and what we're doing next on your behalf. So I wanted to say that. Again, I am so honored to spend a few moments this evening talking about Birmingham's journey, everybody. You know, throughout the calendar year, the city of Birmingham has acknowledged and celebrated the groundbreaking change of the year 1963. That year was a watershed moment for the civil rights movement, and that should not be a secret to anybody in this room. Because it was a year that we saw unimaginable evil enacted upon precious, innocent souls. We saw that the specter of intolerance continue to try to divide our communities and continue to block progress. But what I also like about 1963 is because we also saw a movement that broke the chains of bigotry. We saw children mature into heroes literally right before our eyes, bravely marching, singing, fighting for the freedoms we all now enjoy. And some of those heroes are sitting among us today, and just a moment of truth. Without them, I would not be standing here today as mayor, and some of you all would not be seated in this room. What we saw in 1963 was a community rewriting their destiny. They knew they had to be better, to do better, not just for themselves, everyone, but for generations to come, so Jada could be up here and present to all of us. And with that same passion to rebuild their community, the same spirit to uplift their neighbors, with the same foresight to look well beyond the moment and to work to establish a stronger future. With those lessons learned, tonight we share our blueprint for 2024 and beyond. It is a plan driven by the spirit of change that powers Birmingham's legacy and created with the same forward-thinking vision that made Birmingham a beacon for progress worldwide. And as we continue to change the world, I thought it was important to stop and for all of us to have a moment and share with you how we take care of home first. Last month, we marked a very significant milestone. We're now 2 years into our second term. And so tonight I want to take us, all of us in this room and all of us not in this room, together on a journey of how far we've come over the last 2 years into our second term here in 2023. And we start that journey by sharing a story of that mother and child, or that grandmother and grandchild. In 2019, I encourage all of you to picture a mother or a grandmother in Birmingham. And she isn't just any mother or grandmother. She is a mother or a grandmother many of us know. A woman whose roots run deep in her neighborhood, the neighborhood she's lived most of her life in, of her adult life, that is, and the neighborhood she's currently raising her child or her grandchild in. She loves her neighborhood deeply, but she wants better for her neighborhood. And in 2017, we told her and her neighbors that they deserve better. And so back in 2017, I want to tell you and describe to you this mother or grandmother's reality. Back then, when she stood on her porch and she looked to her right, she saw an ugly, dilapidated home that had been vacant for years. When she looked to her left, she saw an overgrown, empty lot that possibly had rodents in it. And when she looked in front of her, right in front of her home, she would see a cracked sidewalk that was either broken or buckling. And her child or grandchild couldn't even play on that sidewalk and or ride their bicycles safely on that sidewalk. Further out, her streets were in disrepair and haven't been paved in years. And she was always nervous about driving across it for a legitimate fear of more damage to her car because she was trying to avoid potholes. And when she walked her child or grandchild down to that neighborhood park, when she got there, she realized there wasn't necessarily adequate playground equipment to play in safely. But they hurried home anyway because when it was getting dark, the street lights didn't work. And when it was time for dinner, she was reminded that she lived in a food desert and didn't live in proximity of stores that provided healthy food choices and options. Other than the dollar store down the street, I don't have to tell anybody in this room, her options were few. And the worst part was that at night when she and her child or grandchild would lay their head down, their sleep was unfortunately often interrupted by gunshots. That was then. When I want to take you more on this journey about, but this is now. The journey of now. Because by the end of our first term, here's what we did for that mother. Here's what we did for that grandmother. We got more aggressive with our weed abatement program, as well as increased our funding for our land bank to build more single-family homes, not only in that neighborhood, but in that same empty lot to her left. We invested in our sidewalks to make sure that that sidewalk was more walkable and bikeable for that child or that grandchild. And we also put millions into street paving to make sure that not only her street was paved when she pulled out of her driveway, but it was also pothole free. We made sure to close out neighborhood park projects that have been delayed for years. I see the president of Wylam in here. I don't have to tell you, Wylam Park was one of those. One Pratt Park was one of those. And in addition, we continued our partnership, everybody, with Alabama Power to extend our LED light program to light up more of our neighborhood parks because our residents need that. Simply put, our first term was marked by tearing things down that did not work and laying the foundation, laying the groundwork for a better path forward. To me, that not only speaks towards outdated internal processes that no longer serve the city well, but it also meant removing dilapidated housing and reimagining major sites that we all know. For example, Banks Middle School, Caraway Hospital, Inslee High School, Southtown Public Housing, and Ramsey McCormick, just to name a few. But it also included the empty lot upon which Protective Stadium now sits. That was a step in the right direction, no question. But there was more work to be done for that same mother or grandmother who had that child or grandchild. 2 years ago, you honored us with the opportunity to continue the work we did in the first few years. We did it through COVID, and I'm telling you, those were some tough times. It is fair to say that we grew together, and if I can be vulnerable enough, there were many moments in 2020 where some of us even cried together. We made it through the hard reset that came with those major moments. COVID, civil unrest, a re-election campaign, as well as the World Games, committing to something that I will continue to say as long as I serve in this position. Progress together. Together. And so that takes us to today, 2023. The question is very simple. What have we done for residents like that mother or grandmother? What have we done for our families? Well, first, we listened to our residents and took major steps in addressing food deserts, and one of those food deserts was in 5 Points West. And with the opening of Food Giant, I want to bring you back to April of that year, focusing on a simple, basic need, everyone: food, healthy food. In the words of A.G. Gaston, we found a need and we filled it. Because when I think about that day, we had citizens lined up as early as 5 a.m. and 6 a.m., a sea of people in the line just to have access to healthy food. It's the small things that matter to our citizens that we have to deliver on. But let's also go back and talk about that child or that grandchild. Everything we've done has been to increase opportunities for our children and our grandchildren. That literally drives what we do at City Hall. That drives this administration, that is the heartbeat of what we do for our children, for our grandchildren. And so I think it's important that we start with a program called Birmingham Talks. Birmingham Talks is a free citywide program that works with children from birth to 3 years of age to help build lifetime literacy. They work with both our children and our parents as well as caregivers to stimulate vocabulary and brain development. Some of you may have a question, why this program? The answer is simple. Because we have the data that continues to show us that the building blocks between the ages of 1 and 5 is where we need to make the necessary investments for our next generation. Simply put, we're planting the seeds for a lifetime of learning earlier. Birmingham Talks has secured more than $3.5 million in funds and pledges, including a historic $1 million investment from the city of Birmingham. Now, once that child or that grandchild gets older and makes it to the 3rd grade, if there are gaps, that child or grandchild will have the assistance of Page Pals. Page Pals isn't going anywhere. And so thanks to the assistance of the Department of Youth Services led by Galvin Billups and his team, Page Pals is a reading program designed to produce more effective 3rd grade student readers, both inside and outside of the classroom. But this moment also requires me to be very brutally honest with everybody. Because when I tell you that this is a very critical age to increase literacy, through the help of volunteers, we are providing free tutoring to these students. Young, bright, talented students like Jada, everybody. Young students like Jada, who we just heard from earlier, by the way, who did an incredible job, I gotta say it again. But this is who we're fighting for. Her and her classmates, her and her schoolmates, her and the third graders across the entire district. And so if you're wondering to yourself, hey, that's cool, how can I get involved? We got you. I want you to stop what you're doing right now and sign up. Here's the Q code. Sign up now at bhammyoufirst.org. That is bhammyoufirst.org, because we are building a coalition of 750 tutors. The good news is that we're a little over halfway there, but it is so important that if you're in this room and you're not a part of this yet, that you join this cause. That you join this cause not just for the future of our workforce, everybody, but for the future of our most precious resources, our children. If that doesn't work for you, we have representatives in the back when this is over that I want you to see at the Division of Youth Services table to sign up for an opportunity of Page Pal. So we're not letting you off the hook easy. But more importantly, trust me when I tell you, Jada and every third grader needs you. And so as that third grader, as that child, as that grandchild gets older, we have to touch on an initiative that is near and dear to my heart also. And that is the Birmingham Promise, which I hope is near and dear to your heart as well. Because it's our free scholarship and $15 an hour apprenticeship program. And through the Promise, what we are doing is ensuring that graduates of Birmingham City Schools can attend any public college or university in the state of Alabama tuition-free. Just to date, because you deserve this information, just to date, $5.5 million in scholarships have been distributed to nearly 1,000 Birmingham City School students since 2020. You know, I appreciate that applause because I had a line in here that I was going to say, if you missed that, that's 1,000 students. But everybody, that's such a game changer for our next generation. Such a game changer. Because this is how we build our workforce. This is how we retain talent in our state. This is how we break generational curses and provide opportunities for the next generation. And on the subject of our workforce, I'm proud to say that we continue to make breakthroughs. The city of Birmingham is one of 32 cities nationwide to receive nearly an $11 million grant called the Good Jobs Challenge from the U.S. Department of Commerce. These funds will help us build a pipeline. I want you to imagine building a workforce pipeline of healthcare and digital healthcare workers, giving underserved communities opportunities to receive high-quality healthcare jobs. These are the building blocks of our future. But y'all already should know that I'm coming back. I'm turning us back to that neighborhood in which that mother or that grandmother resides. Because everything we do is through that lens. As that mother or grandmother stands on her porch, as she looks out at the street in front of her, she sees that not only her street is paved, I'm repeating myself, but that 173 miles of streets have been paved since 2017, which includes 50 miles of street paves just in 2023. Now, when I first saw this number, I was like, okay, who can picture that? Well, 173 miles, that's a stretch of road longer than the distance between Birmingham and Atlanta. And our crews have made that ride so much smoother. But also, more than 8,900 potholes have been repaired just this year alone. Shout out to the Department of Public Works. We see. Yeah, that's a lot of potholes, everybody. But as she drives around the city, as that mother or grandmother drives around the city, she'll see that 1,500 plus blighted structures have been torn down in the past 6 years, including 104 just in the year 2023. But let's stick to the topic of housing for a bit, because that once vibrant neighborhood where that mother or grandmother resides in is now seeing new residential opportunities for a desire to have more neighbors. And so in July, we were awarded a $50 million choice grant for the Smithfield, College Hills, and Greymont community. Birmingham is the first city in the state of Alabama to receive this federal grant, and we're partnering with organizations like HABD, UAB, and United Way to provide more quality housing options totaling almost $300 million. Make no mistake, everyone, Birmingham, Alabama is the economic center of our state, and this secures our role as a key player in this region. But continuing on the path of more tools in a toolbox related to addressing housing, you can't forget about the existing homeowners, who so many are our seniors and elders. But that is where our critical home repair program comes in, which helps low to moderate income residents with issues like leaky roofs, adding wheelchair access and other exterior issues they may have on their home. We are proud to say, just in a few months, we have raised the scope to 250 homes, which has tripled the number of homes we've served in the past 3 years. Additionally, towards this program, we've allocated more than $6 million for this program. And so on the subject of homes, there is more great news to share. We know that homelessness has been a pressing issue in the city. But that is why I am happy to announce that the city of Birmingham has named 3 finalists in the search for facilitators for the Home for All Safe Sleep pilot program. Now that is a mouthful, so I will make it plainer for you. This program will help us reduce homelessness, decrease our neighbors who have no shelter from being on the streets. And so after a nationwide call for proposals, I'm excited to announce those 3 tonight, which include Faith Chapel Care Center as 1, AIDS Alabama as 2, and Urban Alchemy as 3 were selected. Recall back in January of this year, the city approved a $1 million bid, thanks to the city council's vote and support, to purchase of micro shelters for our chronically unhoused residents. These shelters will be assembled on a dedicated site for safe sleep, shelter, and support, because that's what they deserve, everybody. And I just want to pause again to just say thank you. Not only thank you to those 3 finalists, but I also want to thank our internal team for their commitment to keeping us honest on addressing these issues of how do we decrease homelessness in our community? How do we serve our unhoused population? Thank you so much. But we can't forget about the massive $141 million boost from the Federal American Recovery Plan Act. That's also a mouthful. Let me tell you what that money was used for. Affordable housing, more blight removal, healthy food initiatives, grant matches. It's all federal funds being directed back into your communities, serving you, serving us. And speaking of the American Rescue Plan, again, I think this is a good time to pause and thank our city council for how they've used their funds. I'm in the trenches with them, so you should know that they spent a significant amount of money on supporting neighborhood-centric plans and programs to boost quality of life in the neighborhoods that they represent and serve. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, colleagues who are not here. Mr. President and councilors, it did not go unnoticed. Thank you so much. Look, everybody. There's a lot to celebrate. From our city playing host to international events like the World Games 2022, if you recall, where 99 nations and 3,400 athletes came to our hometown for a historic event. No more debt, by the way. I'll pay it. To our booming entertainment scene with major names like Drake and Garth Brooks, who y'all saw up there a few minutes ago. Feeling the magic of our city. Birmingham, Alabama has so much momentum. But I'm very pragmatic. We also know there is a lot more work to do, much more work to do. Because as I mentioned earlier, if you were listening, when that mother or grandmother and her child or grandchild laid their heads down at night, I told you that their sleep was often interrupted by gunshots. And so let me be totally transparent. Public safety, particularly related to gun violence, is still a major issue in our city. One that even on a night like last night, I was not able to sleep. And so, in this hand, I want to applaud the Birmingham Police Department for their work in taking nearly 17,000 illegal guns off the streets during our administration. But it's not enough. More illegal guns can get into the hands of people in our streets faster than y'all can walk in the store and buy some candy. And so I've often said that public safety cannot just be a BPD issue alone. It has to be a community issue. We all must have buy-in. And so what you'll see us do in 2024 is throw out some ideas that will be different. They will be bold. They will not be comfortable. It will require change. And we should take the risk. And if we fail, we can go back to doing what we've been doing. But I want you to come along with me as we roll it out. I hope y'all are cool with that.
Yes, sir.
But let me tell you what we've also done in addition to taking those 17,000 illegal guns off the street. We spend $8 million annually for gun violence prevention, re-entry programs, and mental health services for our students. Our conflict resolution programs, which first started with high school males, has now expanded to female students, elementary students, and middle school students, and our housing authority as a partner, thanks to the Common Ground program. There's an entire generation, everybody, that has been taught if someone hits you, hit them back. What do you think happens when they become adults? And so it's important for us in the next generation to teach them conflict resolution early. But we've also contributed millions as a partner to the Jefferson County Department of Health, UAB and the Offender Alumni Association, VIP Squared, which is a hospital-linked violence intervention program to decrease retaliation, gun violence in our community. And we continue our support of the Restore Juvenile Reentry Program, which provides support for youth 16 to 19 of age who are currently part of the state's Department of Youth system. Short way of saying it, these are young people who are locked up in state custody. And in an effort to provide more positive influences, in an effort to provide more skills for our young people, the city of Birmingham has committed $1 million to our safe haven programs at Birmingham recreation centers. And we continue to also support something that's very, very critical: financial literacy. If we ever want to put predatory cash checking places out of business, we better do everything we can to teach the next generation what financial literacy is. But there's more. We've launched the Connect Birmingham program, where we're encouraging business owners to register their security cameras with us to help us identify issues in case of a crime or incident on their property or in proximity of their property. And I want to stop and emphasize that the privacy of those who participate in this program will be protected, nor will footage be used without your knowledge or consent. but this is an important step in keeping our streets safer. It is our desire to move at a quicker speed of taking criminals and those who commit crimes against persons and crimes against property off our streets. And it turns out, with more access to cameras for existing business owners, this speeds up the investigative process. So we need you to partner with us. If you know somebody that's a business owner in this room, if you are a business owner in this room, here's another cue card for you to sign up. By the way, show of hands, residents who have cameras on their home, Ring or anybody else. You can participate too. And so I highly encourage you to please visit birminghamal.gov/connectbirmingham. Again, that is birminghamal.gov/connectbirmingham, or go to this and scan and help us be more efficient in our investigative processes and take criminals off the street. So it's simple, everybody. As we look ahead, what does the blueprint tell us? Well, we've spent our first term listening to your needs, seeing the community through the eyes of that mother or grandmother, and from there, tearing down what wasn't working. Old buildings, old systems, old ways of thinking, old barriers that block progress. And in turn two, we're rebuilding. We're restoring faith to our young people by providing them with opportunities to achieve their potential. We're making roads smoother. We're making parks more accessible. We're building homes, and most importantly, we're building systems to allow new homeowners to achieve their dreams. And we're rebuilding our reputation in the tech and small business space, opening doors for entrepreneurs to thrive and create in our city. And we're showing the entertainment world that Birmingham is indeed a destination city. This blueprint isn't just of charts and lines and boxes. It is a roadmap for our success. A path paved by the blood, the sweat, and the tears of our fearless forefathers and our foremothers. We're simply building upon the foundation that they laid. We're building a better, a brighter, and a bolder Birmingham for that mother, for that grandmother, for that child, for that grandchild, but also for you, for your family, and for generations to come. From 1963 to 2023, we're rewriting our future. This blueprint is Birmingham's manifesto for our next great breakthrough. And so thank you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of Birmingham's journey. Thank you for being part of Birmingham's fabric. Thank you for being part of Birmingham's DNA and doing everything you can as an active participant and citizen of this city to make Birmingham the best version of itself. Thank you so much. All right, don't leave. Don't do that. I see you trying to leave. I got a couple things I need to do before you leave. We are seated and standing in the Museum of Art, everybody. And one of the things I committed to in this second term was to make sure, through partnership, through advocacy, through support, that we support the art and culture scene of Birmingham, Alabama. And let me tell you why. Because our arts and culture in this city is one of our strongest assets, and I dare say the strongest in the state of Alabama. And so with that said, Supporting Birmingham's art and culture community is a very important initiative of our administration. Artists and storytellers not only tell our stories verbally, they also tell them visually. But they also, everybody, they preserve our history. And so thanks to the support and partnership with the Alabama State Council of the Arts, the Birmingham City Council's Arts Committee, the city of Birmingham is very proud, everyone. We're very proud to announce our first Birmingham Poet Laureate Initiative. Create Birmingham facilitated a call for poets and assembled a team of respected Birmingham artists and creatives to select the best person for this very special role. And so tonight, you will be the first to know who that very special person is. Yeah, so I am proud, everyone. I'm proud to introduce the very first Birmingham Poet Laureate, Miss Salem Green. Miss Green, come on up. Don't go around. There you go. She tried to run off the stage. I told her she couldn't go, everyone. All right, Ms. Green, just a little backdrop. Two things. I want to give you a little bit about what she'll do, and you deserve to know about her background. And let these, come on over here so these folks can see. Don't be shy. Can y'all see her? All right. So Ms. Green, everyone, will serve as an ambassador for the arts community here in Birmingham. Currently, she serves as the founder and director of the Literary Healing Arts Organization and is a Rhodes Scholar for the Alabama Humanities Foundation. Yeah, that's pretty cool. She has spent the last 16 years working as an arts educator, a healer, and a community leader here in Birmingham. And so Ms. Green is also a published author whose work has been featured in the book Peaches the Perfect Poet and Alabama Arts Journal. Just a little bit more, she will begin her 2-year term in January of 2024, so it starts in a few weeks. You should know that this is an honorary position, and roles and responsibilities include making local appearances, facilitating public and educational arts programs, and building advocacy and community through poetry. And so it's simple. Everyone join me in congratulating Ms. Green. My work here is done tonight. Please don't forget more information for partners who I didn't get to. It's in here. They're kicking me off the stage. I invite back Rick Journey, everybody.
All right, they're going to kick me off the stage if I hold you too long. So on behalf of Mayor Woodfin and the city of Birmingham, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a great event. Don't you? I think we all can feel more enriched by this, more empowered by this. And also we love Jada, and it's great to meet Ms. Green tonight. So thanks to everybody who participated in this one more time. If you would like to help third graders like Jada, please stop by the Page Pals volunteer sign-up table in the lobby. You may also pick up a free set of our year-long Forging Justice poster series. We've got them in 12 packs in the lobby, so check that out. As a reminder, if you parked in Beltwell Auditorium deck, it will be free to exit tonight. And also be sure to see the greeters as you leave to receive that complimentary copy of Blueprint if you don't already have that publication. You can also go online at birminghammail.gov/strategy, and you can read Blueprint there. Have a great evening, everybody, and happy holidays.